Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wells of Wall Street, Verasity here, VRA on the exchange. Obviously one of our favourite projects, as you know. If you're new to the channel, do go check out the other videos as well, including those that are new perhaps indeed to Verasity. Go and check out our intro video. I'll try and leave a link at the end of this one if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I can. That would be lazy if I didn't. So guys, we're going to touch up on a few items of Verasity before we go into the chart. So a couple of things here since the last video, so apologies, well, it's not apologies, I suppose. I've been resting off the videos the last week, just with loads of other project stuff in my real world crypto role, and just generally relaxing for a bit. So now we're back into the swing of things. I can indeed appease the masses out there, and hopefully some new subscribers to our channel. That'd be excellent. So Verasity in the last 7 days have done quite a few things here. So for me personally, I'm quite happy with this one in particular. Clever Exchange, which is actually a really cool app as well to download. If you haven't seen Clever before, we do have a video on that a long time ago. It was like 6-7 months ago now probably. I still have it on my phone. It's still staking for the Clever token, which is really cool. I do need to do an update video on that. But more importantly, right now for this video, it has been added. Verasity VRA has been added to the Clever Exchange. So again, another great adoption into a very new and upcoming exchange that I think is going to be very popular in the near future, trust me. And BitGet, new listing on GameFi Zone, which is really cool. So BitGet, I don't know a lot about at all. In fact, this is the first time I've heard of it, so apologies. But very interesting to see the development of that. Obviously got a lot of followers. Don't know how many bots. We'll find out when Eon finishes with them. But let's see as well how that transitions. Because for me, as you know, Verasity has a great portfolio of technology and opportunities. We know about the ad stacking capabilities through Brightcove. We know about the proof of view mechanism. We know about the proof of ownership in terms of NFT as well. But the gaming for me personally is the most exciting part because I know how big the esports market is and the gaming market is. And Verasity is looking to pursue being a platform for view to earn, which is very cool. Adopting as well the play to earn mechanism. We're going to do a video actually on esports and gaming in general in the blockchain space and why it's so significant to pay attention to gaming assets and indeed the platforms that they will be on, like Verasity, for example. We won't be talking about Verasity massively in the video. It would be a touching point for sure, but I think everyone's going to find it interesting. Even if you're not into gaming, hopefully all the stats and the research I've got over the last 5-6 years, you will see the true development of gaming and how exciting it is and why I'm so excited. Hotbit, that is one I do know. So these guys have indeed started trading pairing as well. So Verasity is flying on these exchange listings right now. It's showing good popularity. So really good things to look forward to. And there's a cool little interview / video here from Elliot Hill. So Key of Head of Communications and I believe Marketing as well of Verasity. So go check that out because it's a really cool little interview. Actually, I've watched most of it. I haven't watched all of it yet. I ran out of time. But really, really cool and right down my street as well. So do go check that out. Simply just go onto Elliot Hill's Twitter, I guess, be easier. But there's a YouTube link. It's really, really interesting and insightful and kind of touches upon the things I just mentioned about the significance of esports and gaming for Verasity moving forward. So other than that, there's nothing major. I just wanted to pick up on this because I thought this was quite entertaining. So Elliot has been at this event here, IAB UK. Really cool to be listening in on some of these great projects, but it's got absolutely slated. And I'm like, why? So they're talking about Spotify and YouTube being present and talking here, but not Verasity. And it's like people are like sitting there going, oh, why are you sitting at the back? Why are you not a part of this? Why are you like this, that, and the other? It's like, why aren't you building partnership with these guys? Well, if you did your research, you'd know that Verasity is already interlaced and partnered with most of these projects, including YouTube video, Vimeo, Twitch, I believe as well. It's all on their website for quite some time now. Doesn't always mean that you go and do things with the guys all the time. Like you're integrating things. This doesn't just happen overnight. Like if people think that you can just go, hey, I've got a partnership with YouTube, it's working right now, you're very much mistaken. There's a lot of development work. There's a lot of legal work to be done and all this, that, and the other, and proofing. You can't just switch this system on. It has to be proven and trialed and tested for a long time. So I don't get why people get so aggy about stuff. Like when you don't have any real news, you put this up. It's like, well, this is news. Verasity are taking a big interest in this space, which is what I want to see. I don't want to see them sitting on their desks at home or in their office or whatever, just doing nothing. I want to see them at these places so they go, oh, I understand this a bit more. We want to do this, this, and this. I'm pretty sure they talk to them afterwards as well. They don't just all go home. Like, there's networking events and stuff. If you haven't been to one of these events, then I don't know. I suggest you go on one to understand a bit more about it. I don't want to get so irate about it. I just think it's like a bit crazy that people just like jump onto social media and stuff and start attacking people. Like, oh, you're not doing your job properly because you're sat at an event which is part of your job and industry. Makes no sense. And then people getting angry, like, like what? When's this happening? When's that happening? It's like, guys, like I think, like, generally, I'm being honest here. Like, I generally feel like a majority of investors, if you want to call them that, in this space are just literally looking for quick grabs, like just quick money, like as if it's going to happen overnight. And then they're getting aggy because we had really high points last year. They probably FOMO'd in. We're now at the bottom and they don't understand why. And yeah, it's just crazy, right? It's just crazy. And I'm really, I don't understand it. I just don't understand why people get so agitated about it. Like, you don't see this people with like Apple and, well, actually you do. Sometimes they get aggravated with the designs and stuff, but you don't see people in like the real world stock markets, as it were, like going, oh, Apple, when are you doing this? When are you doing, why are you sat at the back of an event? Like, I know they're probably at the front of the event most of the time, which kind of makes sense, but you get my point. It's just like, chill out, understand the project, research. If you don't like it, just move on. Like, don't make just snarky comments. Like, it's crazy. But that's my last point on there. Again, like I said, I will do some really cool videos around gaming and esports, so you guys hopefully understand that. And that does actually touch on the likes of YouTube and Twitch, especially in the gaming arena, as to why this is important. Why is view to earn important? Why is play to earn important? Why is this whole new mechanism of activity to earn, exercise to earn? All of this stuff is coming, and everyone laughed at me last year for saying it, but it's coming, guys. Like, this is the new economy. Companies are going to change the structure. People are going to like go, oh, I don't have a job, but then they'll just be able to make money on these kind of things. It's like, it's just the new world that we're entering. It's really exciting. Anyway, into the chart, guys. Let's go. Switch. Thank you. So, guys, Verasity is literally stuck down here at the moment. I'm not angry about this. Why am I not angry about this? Because it's giving me keeps giving me another chance, to accumulate Verasity at a really good price point, under 2 cents. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It is currently matching some really significant areas that we haven't really seen since February this year. And way before that, I haven't seen this since August last year, and some dip up down points here in March and around May, June time. So what is this saying to me? Well, this is saying to me that we've had some really good activity with Verasity across this journey over the last year and a half. But what we got now, as most of the market has done, we had this big over purchasing power, big FOMOs going in as well, especially towards the end of last year. Remember, the whole metaverse conversation was coming. Everyone was getting involved in gaming projects and this, that, and the other, and not understanding maybe what they're getting into or where we were in the cycles. And we're now having the tail down of that. Now we need to identify where's Veracity's proper price point. And we drew this orange line isn't a significant data representation at all. It was more showing everyone that these are like the small touch points along the way in the lower regions, and identifying where actually, if we're looking at a steady-ish pattern, where Veracity should arguably be. So that is where we are currently right now, slightly under where this line is. Again, don't pay too much attention to that orange line. I'm just trying to use it for a visual representation of what I'm trying to talk about here. So right now, in my opinion, we're in a bottom out stage of Veracity. Like, of course, it could come down still slightly more. And we have seen that attempt back here on the 24th of February when we saw the big Bitcoin leverage failures that we do every now and then. And it tailed itself back up. So that's really good to see. And look at where it tailed itself back up, pretty much to where we are around about now, just under the 2 cent mark. So we're flopping ourselves down right now to some lower regions, not quite at this heavy low region. I'm just going to draw in this area here and hopefully I can ascertain to you guys what's occurring. So I'm going to move that to just around, I think I could probably put it down to here. So we're literally scaling ourselves around this area on the fib retracement, right? So not quite the lower region back here, as I mentioned, from the 24th of February, but right upon this area. So again, touching very nicely around this part and what we've seen locally here in March as well. So I'm starting to hopefully see the bottom areas of Verasity. Could it come down to 1.5 cent? Potentially, of course, that is an option, and that's why I've got buy orders down there. The low region of this fib retracement at the moment, back from the 24th of February, the low region of 1.5 cents. So it makes sense for me to put a buy order at those regions. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be doing personally. It doesn't sound like a nice thing to do, but I'm in it to try and accumulate at as lower regions as possible. But I have indeed been buying manually around this current area as well, because I do think, as mentioned, in several areas it is a significant area of resistance on the way down right now. So we're going to really test this area, I think, over the next few days, maybe into next week, before we can start determining whether we're pulling ourselves back up again and trying to test these higher regions, i.e. 1.9 and then beyond the 2 cent mark. Or are we going to try to see if we can pull ourselves back down a tad further? But at the moment, the support is there. You can see it, 1, 2, 3 days now of trying to pull itself back down, but it just keeps rejecting it. And the volumes are reducing slightly as well, which indicates that we are potentially coming to the end of this run. And let's have a look at the histogram as well, because this is really interesting data points to look at. Had the big overpurchase, we have the selling off here, but look at that, the wave is so slowly but surely narrowing. But this is why I'm saying it's probably going to last a few more days, because we're not seeing that full like wave effect. You know what I mean? Like this back here, for example, a nice edged steep downward climb. It's literally static along this area here. So that's why I think it's going to take maybe a few more days or into next week to determine that. And if you look at the MACD here, the blue line under the orange here, this is still in a negative impact move still. So that's why I've got my buy orders just around that 1.5 cents, just in case. But I do anticipate some slow moving sideways action to come. And that's where we might start seeing a switch over, and this wave hopefully reducing a bit more to these kind of levels, and then maybe, just maybe, seeing a small switch into Verasity. I don't expect a big tail up immediately, because there's so many things going on in the world, guys, like big narratives. You must pay attention. I don't like watching the news, but I do like listen out to things, just because I'm like, okay, well, what's that going to do to the stocks? What's that going to do to commodities? What's that going to do to these spaces that we're in? How can we identify the future mechanism of impact on that, both negative and positive? So that's why right now the whole market is still so quiet. People are getting annoyed, frustrated, totally understandable, but you've just got to understand this is where we are in the world. And if you believed in these projects last year and you were so angry at yourselves for not getting at lower regions, we're there right now. What are you going to do about it? Let us know in the comments below. Have you been buying Verasity at these low areas here? Are you waiting a bit longer? Have you got buy orders lower like I have? And what do you think about Verasity this year in general? I do think like the future developments of esports in blockchain gaming is going to be absolutely huge. And I'm seeing such cool things going to come out for Verasity this year, as well as other projects similar. So do let us know your confidence patterns of Verasity. And finally, the indicators on the right hand side here. This 3-month number is coming down, guys. How exciting. Remember the videos way back, we were saying I was like 30% plus, and we said, don't worry, it's going to take a bit of time. And here we are, fast forward, it's looking a lot rosier than before. The 1 month is looking a bit depressing at 30%, of course, but that's understandable. We're still in a negative sell-off pattern for this one, and it's pretty similar to most other projects as well. And it's still down on the week, but I'm still being positive about this. If you remember last year how big Verasity was on the year and the year to date, I mean, it's significant, wasn't it, percentage-wise? I think it was like way beyond 500% positive. It's a negative at the moment, understandably. But like I said, I do anticipate this to come down. And if you're looking at it from a backward perspective, this is interesting, the 6-month one at 76%. Because if you think back 6 months ago, we were hitting the high regions when the metaverse conversations were coming out. If I said to you guys, if you believe in Verasity back then, at that time, and you had the opportunity to buy Verasity at a 70 or 80% reduction, you'd probably take my hands off for that one right now. So that's where we are today. And I'm certainly taking advantage of that because I'm like, wow, imagine, when we do start tailing ourselves back up beyond 2 cents, hopefully towards 5 cents and beyond again, maybe even touching those lovely high regions again one day, maybe this year, potentially towards 10 cents, we're absolutely laughing. And I believe in this project so much. Hopefully you guys have some good positive vibes about it as well. If you don't, let us know in the comments below why you are not happy with Verasity. Guys, we're going to wrap that up there. Got loads more videos to do later tonight on a multitude of projects. I'm going to work now. See you later. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you've not done so already. We'll see you in the next one. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.